Hi everyone, welcome back to another class of Pronunciation in Use Level Intermediate. Today we're taking a look at Unit 22. This unit is about stress patterns, like where you need to put the stress in a word, and this is super important. So make sure you first learn this lesson very well and then you practice that, because it's not enough to just learn it, but it's to practice that. How can you practice this? We will talk about this, but it's basically recording your voice and checking your stress patterns to make sure that you are following the right intonation. Not intonation here, just stress patterns. Some people are saying it's not clear. You can't see the screen well. Okay. No. So, how's it? Can you see the screen well? So, stress patterns is what we are talking about right now. Before I do that, we can open a Word file. So I tell you about this. I'm gonna write 2 words here. So let me write my words here. This one. I'm writing 2 words here on the board, on my Word file. You look at these 2 words. I think it's hard for you to see on Instagram, so I'm gonna make them black. So you see 2 words here. Hi Fariba, welcome. Can you see this screen okay? Let me see, maybe I should reverse the camera. I think there's some problem with my camera focus. Let me... No, you can't see. So let me pause it here. So I was talking about these 2 words. The first one is never, and the second one is Brazil. It's interesting that they both have 2 syllables. Yes, never. So they both have 2 syllables. Brazil. Again, they have both 2 syllables, right? But I do not pronounce them the same way. Now, why is it that? Because I say never. Never. I say this part louder. I say never, right? So you never hear me say, hey, I never go to school. No, I don't say that. I say I never go to school. I never go to school. But look at this second one. Brazil. Brazil. So this time it's different because I'm putting the stress on zil. Brazil. Brazil. So maybe I need to zoom. Brazil. So you see 2 words here. The first one is never, the second one is Brazil. They both have 2 syllables, but the first one has got the stress on the first syllable, which is never. So this one is Brazil. So if I want to write a sentence there, I can say I never went to Brazil, right? So I can say that. Just give it a little black background. I never went to Brazil. So you see that I'm pronouncing it differently. I never went to Brazil, right? I never went to Brazil. Stress here, Brazil. Never, stress here. I never went to Brazil, right? So that is what we are focusing on this session exactly. So let's go to the book. The book says Saturday, September 13th. Just some words here. We want to work on the stress pattern, probably. It says, if a word has more than one syllable, for example, never. Never has two syllables. Never. Never. So never, it has two syllables. So if it has more than one syllable, you give stress to one syllable, okay? So for example, if your word has one syllable like this, it's very easy because you just say tall. It's not hard. But if your word has two syllables like never, it's hard because you have two options, never and never. You have to decide. So if you know the correct form, you're going to say never. So you have to make a decision here. But the previous one is just so easy. You just say tall. Let's go to the first one. Now, how can you put this stress on some part? Look at the word Saturday. If you want to stress the first syllable, let's say I want to stress the first syllable here, okay? I want to stress the first syllable. I have three options. I want to stress here. Let me change the color. I want to stress this part. One way is to say it longer. Saturday. I'm not saying it louder, I'm just saying it longer. Saturday. And this part I say faster. So this part, for example, 1 second, but this part half a second. So it sounds like Saturday. Saturday. I can make, so that was the first way. یه راه استرس اینه که بلندتر بگیم. بلندتر یعنی از لحاظ زمانی. یعنی اصلا احتیاجی نیست مثلا تو این راه که صدامون رو ببریم بالا. فقط زمان. Just we say it for a longer time. Let's say 1 second, 2 seconds. So Saturday. Saturday. The second way is to say it louder. So this way, I'm not making it long, I'm making it loud. So I say Saturday. Saturday. I just say it louder. بلندتر میگمش. Saturday. This is the second way. The next way is to use a higher pitch. Use a higher pitch. Mahsa says, I think, can the stress of a word change in a sentence? Yeah, it can, and we will talk about it in this lesson. So, higher pitch, it means I just say it. If you know music, the note just goes up, and instead of, for example, I'm going to say sat in some different way. If I put sat here, it sounds like sat. If I put it here, it sounds like sat. If I put it here, it sounds like sat. I'm not saying it louder, I'm just saying it at a higher level, at a higher pitch. So this is the third way. پس روش سوم میتونید گام صداتون رو ببرید بالاتر. مثلا به جای اینکه بگید سا، بگید سا. بلندتر نمیگم، فقط به جای اینکه بگم سا سا سا. گام صدامو I speak at a higher pitch. گام صدامو میبرم بالاتر. So it sounds like Saturday. Saturday. That was number 3. So you have 3 ways to stress your syllable. My favorite way is this one and this one. I don't usually make it very long, but sometimes I use this one too. So it's good to know the 3 ways. So in summary, let me say it. Number 1, you make it louder. Saturday. Number 2, so number 1 was longer. Saturday. Number 2 is louder. Saturday. Number 3 is higher. Saturday. You just say it at a higher pitch. پس 3 تا روش شد. روش اول بلندتر میگیم. زمانشو، مثلا Saturday. روش دوم اصلا صدامون رو بلند میگیم Saturday اینجوری. روش سوم گامو میبریم بالا، به جای اینکه بگیم میگیم Saturday. So these are the three ways that you can stress a word. Now let me go down and see what we have. Scroll down here. We have a little conversation here. So let's see. Armin says, how can we say all three together? Yeah, Armin is writing good descriptions, explanations. Okay, so in the next part, you are going to look at this conversation here and look at these words. Here is the stress pattern. When do you begin your holiday? So holiday, your stress goes on ha. When do you begin your holiday? Begin, stress goes on gin. When do you begin your holiday? Let me see if we can listen to that.
B5. When do you begin your holiday?
So you see that? Exactly, he says, when do you begin your holiday?
Holiday. Begin your holiday. Your holiday. Do you begin your holiday? When do you begin your holiday?
When do you begin your holiday? Right? When do you begin your holiday? Right? So in the next part it says, so the person wants to answer. Look at this. On the 30th of August. So August, stress goes on August. And 30th, stress goes on on the 30th of August. On the 30th of August.
Your holiday.
On the 30th of August.
On the 30th of August, right? We should talk more about grammar. Okay. On the 30th of August. We will talk about that too.
That's next.
On the 30th of August.
30th of August. Okay, the next part, it says that's next Saturday. So again, you see this part is louder. Saturday. That's next Saturday.
That's next Saturday. That's next Saturday.
That's next Saturday. That's next Saturday. It says we are learning in the afternoon. Afternoon. We're learning in the afternoon. Listen.
We're leaving in the afternoon.
We're leaving in the afternoon.
We're leaving in the afternoon.
So do you really pay attention to them? When you are speaking, this is a question you should ask yourself because it's a matter of putting it into practice.
And when are you coming back?
And when are you coming back? So here it's not very hard. We didn't talk about it. Now let me scroll down a little. When are you coming back?
Coming back.
Saturday, September the 13th.
Saturday, September the 13th. So September the 13th. This part is longer and louder. Saturday, September the 13th. That'll be good if you can repeat it. Definitely do it at home.
September the 13th. Saturday,
Back.
Saturday, September the 13th.
Saturday, September the 13th. So stress goes on the second part here. And also here second part. September, November, December, all of them are this stress pattern. September, November, December. Next part.
30th.
No, 10th.
30th.
30th? It's like a question. 30th? Stress is on the first part. 30th. 30th? Question you ask with a rising intonation. Another pronunciation point because it's a question. 30th. 30th? Live video paused. So let me pause this. My live video paused.
No, 13th.
No, 13th. Now stress goes on the second part. No, 13th. So be careful here. 30, stress is on the first part. 13, stress is on the second part. Right? 13th. So here the stress is on the first part, 13 or 30th. But here stress is on the second part, 13th, 14th. So this is a little difference that you see between this part and this part. Okay? So that was the conversation we had, and we were using that into stress patterns. You see how much we use them, those stress patterns in our speech, but we oftentimes don't pay attention and we sound not correct and we sound kind of hard to understand. So it's good to try to put that into practice. The next part, you have some yeah, I think my internet is bad today. So if it says your voice is broken, if the net is too weak. Okay. So let me pause this. So in this part, you're going to listen to some words that have this pattern, 2 syllables, and the first syllable is louder. I'm going to read them for you. April, April. 30, 30, morning, morning, Sunday, Sunday. The next row, it's the same thing, but the stress goes on the second part. Again, 2 syllables. July, July, midday, midday, 13, 13, today, today. 13th, 13th, 13th and third. Yes, 30th. Sepit says that's 30th. That one is this one. 30th. Again, it's the same. Stress is on the first part. 30, 30th, 13, 13th. Stress is the same when you add th. So the next one, it's 3 syllables. It's O. So the first one was O, like April, 30. The second one was O, July, midday, 13. This one is O, which is Saturday, 30th, yesterday, holiday, 70. You have to put them together though. So Saturday, 30th, yesterday, holiday, 70. That's how you should do it. Next part, you have this one, which is O, September, tomorrow, 11, okay? So September, tomorrow, 11. The next one is O, stress is on the last part. It's 3 syllables. You say afternoon, 17, 21, right? Oops, I'm disconnecting again. I'm getting disconnected again. The note says the stress pattern of numbers with teen is sometimes different when the word is in a sentence. I think Mahsa asked this. Yes. So when you have a noun after this, the stress pattern is different. For example, sometimes you say Let me write it. So the stress pattern sometimes differs here. So look at here. The first one, there is no noun after 19. بعد از 19 هیچ اسمی نیامد. فقط گفتم من 19 سالمه. It's just the age. I am 19. So stress goes on the second part. I am 19. Like the usual way that I told you. I am 19. But when you have a noun after this, the book says usually stress goes on the first part. You say 19. پس وقتی اسم بعد از این عدد میاد یا حالا 18 15 all those teens, you put the stress on the first part. It's usually they do it. So I have 19 books. I have 19 books. But even if you say I have 19 books, that's not a problem, so don't worry about it. But I just wanted to tell you that this was in the book. So the next part, it says February and January, I think. Yes, February and January, they can have different, two different pronunciations. Sometimes you say, for example, February, 3 syllables, right? But sometimes you say February, it's 4 syllables. So that's why in the book you see it says February and January, they can be this way or this way. But anyway, stress is still on the first part. February, January. So this one is the 4. So February. This one is the 3. February. So easier. February. So both of them are actually correct. So let me go to the next part. The next part, it says stress patterns of these words that I told you. So look at this. 13. Stress goes here. 13. 14. 16. 18. 19, right? But here it's different, right? Here we say 30, 40, 60, 80, 90. Okay, so stress patterns goes on the first syllables. 30, 40. But here is which is 13, 14. Okay, and it applies to all those rules. Hi MSO. M Sultani, hi, welcome. So yeah, it says you can find more about word stress in Unit 28 and Unit 31. So that was what we were talking about stress patterns. And I told you it's very important. Try to record yourself. And yeah, that's the lesson. So now we want to do the exercises. But I think with this connection, we can't do it. So probably we'll do it next session. Because I don't see your chats, your comments, they come with a delay. But the exercise is very interesting. I wish we could do it. Anyway, I think the connection is bad for the exercise. So let me pause it here, stop it. Maybe next video I'll put the exercise and we'll do it live together.